Hari Om to all the Atmajyotis. Welcome to today's contemplation of Gita Shloka 6.3. So first we'll chant the shloka. I'd like to call on Megha to repeat after me. So everybody, please sit straight. Place your hands in Namaste. Close your eyes and repeat along with Megha after me. Ārurukṣhor muner yogaṁ.
ārurukṣhor muner yogam.
Karma kāraṇam.
Karma kāraṇam.
Uchyate.
Uchyate.
Yogārūḍhasya.
Yogārūḍhasya.
Tasyaiva.
Tasyaiva.
Śhamaḥ.
śhamaḥ.
uchyate.
kāraṇam uchyate.
Aditya, it would
Another time.
Shama. Shama kāraṇam uchyate.
Sorry?
Shama
Okay.
kāraṇam uchyate.
So I'll repeat. Śhamaḥ kāraṇam uchyate. So I'll take it from the top. Ārurukṣhor muner yogaṁ.
ārurukṣhor muner yogam.
Karma kāraṇam uchyate.
kāraṇam uchyate.
Yogārūḍhasya tasyaiva.
yogārūḍhasya tasyaiva.
Śhamaḥ kāraṇam uchyate.
śhamaḥ kāraṇam uchyate.
Thank you. Can Snigdha
Yeah,
please
sure.
read out the meaning?
To the soul who is aspiring for perfection in yoga, work without attachment is said to be the means. To the sage who is already elevated in the yoga, tranquility in meditation is said to be the means.
Thank you. So this was a little hard to understand. So we modified this meaning a little. Sorry. Yeah. Can you just read it once more? The modified one.
To the beginner who has intense desire to realize God, oneness with divine, selfless work as a dedication to the divine is said to be the means. To the sage who is already advanced in this process, yoga, meditation is said to be the means. God, realization of one's own divine qualities and bringing them out in the service of the world.
Atmano mokshartam jagadhitaicha.
Okay, I can't read that
It's
Hindi
fine.
one.
Thank you so much, Snigdha and Megha. So before we get into the meaning, it seems a little confusing, right? So let's do a short experiment. So can anybody name at least one person on the screen? Yeah, Shreyas. One person. And only one person. Shreyas?
I was mute. Virat Kohli, the first person.
Awesome. Yeah, the top left.
Yes,
Right?
I know.
Snigdha.
I also wanted to say Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli is very famous because even my brother knows him. If he says
Okay.
him, he'll say Virat Kohli.
Yeah. So Virat Kohli, many people know Virat Kohli. Can you name any other one person?
I've never seen these people before because my parents, they don't really see basketball matches and all.
Okay.
They only see cricket matches.
It's not only basketball, it's all sports.
Yeah.
But okay, no problem. Megha, can you name one person?
LeBron James, the basketball one.
Not LeBron James. Those same field, but not LeBron James. Okay, let's give a chance to Manya. Can you name anyone?
Magnus and Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen, exactly. So the top right bottom is Magnus Carlsen, the person in front of the chessboard. So Magnus Carlsen is one of the arguably greatest chess player in the whole world, and he has many titles. Shreyas,
Usain Bolt. The
Usain Bolt, right below
below
Virat Kohli.
below Virat.
Yeah,
And I guess so the basketball player is Michael Jordan, or
yeah, it's Michael Jordan. So Michael Jordan is also one of the greatest
greatest players.
basketballer. Exactly, yeah. So you guys might be seeing a pattern here. So here there are many of the people who are excelled in whatever they do. So Virat Kohli, many people consider him as one of the greatest cricketer of all time. Or Magnus Carlsen, he's one of the greatest chess player of all time. And even Usain Bolt, no one has even, people have come close to him, but no one has nearly beaten him in how fast he is. Or someone, I don't think many of you know him, but Michael Phelps. So to the rightmost on the top. So I don't know if you can see my cursor, but the one who's wearing the medals. So that's his name is Michael Phelps, and he's one of the greatest swimmer ever. He competed in the Olympics, and he's won so many medals in 1 year. He won almost 8 medals in 1 year. So he's like this, and below Michael Jordan, yeah, Snigdha?
Who is that lady with the trophy?
Yeah, I was coming to that. So the one below Michael Jordan is one of the greatest women tennis player of all time. Her name is Serena Williams. So if you guys haven't heard, they made a movie about her called King Richard, and it's a really beautiful story of how Serena Williams became her, or rather her sister and her Venus Williams became.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So yeah, like that, the people we see on the screen are arguably a few of the best people in whatever they do. And to become the best in whatever you do, it's not easy, right? So it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of dedication, and it takes a lot of step-by-step building, right? So the experiment that I wanted to do is take a minute and think of a few simple things that, let's say, Virat Kohli, okay? Because I'm sure many of you know Virat Kohli. Let's take Virat Kohli, for example, and give me a few steps as how he became so great. So, he obviously wasn't born with this natural talent or this skill, right? So let's just take a minute and put like 4 or 5 steps, let's say, of how he became from where he was to who he is. So, for example, just a random example. First, Virat Kohli found an awesome teacher. Next, he found his talent, or like, let's say, where he excelled in, and then he played regionals, and then he played international, and then he played for his country or whatever, like that. Can you, before you guys say anything, take a minute and then go ahead. Do you have any questions, Snigdha, Shreyas, or Megha? Okay. Akshat, do you have a question?
No, I wanted to say that first Virat Kohli had his ambition. Then
One
he
minute. Take a minute. Let's give everyone a chance. So before you go ahead, take a minute. You can write it down if you want, or you can keep it in your mind. So at least a few steps on how he was and how he became what he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question. Should
Mhm.
we tell about a specific person, or should we tell what does it take to be a great player?
So it can be anybody. It doesn't necessarily have to be Virat Kohli. So it can be
So
anyone.
anyone.
Yeah, anyone. How do you become the greatest at what you are?
Okay. Can we tell ourselves?
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead. You can say, I joined school and then I did this. There's no problem with that.
No, it's not like I did anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But for simplicity, we'll take a sports player for the example.
So we should say like what are the qualities we should have.
Not necessarily qualities, but what they do, what they did to come to where they are.
Okay.
Can I not specifically tell a famous person, and can I just give an example of a person, like how do they become so successful?
Okay. Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah. 7:46. I'll stop. Okay, it's 7:46. Let's start. What is the first step? Okay, Snigdha, do you want to say anything?
Can I tell two things?
First, tell me the first thing. Let's say Virat Kohli. Let's say, what is the first thing you think he did? Very first thing. When he said, okay, I want to be the greatest cricket player, what do you think he did?
I think that maybe he started this when he was small. So maybe somebody must have inspired him for him to get into cricket.
Inspiration. Okay, beautiful.
And then maybe he had that determination.
Inspiration, determination, the initial starting thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
determination. And then he started to work hard.
That comes later, right? He got the idea that he
Because
wants to.
then he went to the training, the coaching.
Okay, yeah.
And then slowly he went to small competitions like.
Okay, let's give others a chance.
Right.
Let's Shreyas.
Yeah, I heard about his life story. Can I say of Virat Kohli?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so when he was 4 or 5 years old, his father, his idol was Sachin Tendulkar. He would see him at the World Cup, and when Sachin began to play, so he also got inspired, and his father helped him. They were poor, but still his father wanted to do him, and he played for the Delhi team, under 19 state level. So then he grew up, and he played very well for this. So he went to a Delhi state level. Then during a match, this is a very famous one. During a match, when he was playing, Delhi was very bad. They had to chase some runs, and suddenly his father was passed due to an heart attack at that time. So between the match, he died. So he didn't go to his funeral. He saved Delhi from the match and made Delhi win. And from that time onwards, everybody started praising him. And soon he started playing very well, and he got selected for the uh, teams of India. And then afterwards, he became a very successful player, and is still a very successful player.
I have a question for Shreyas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, during the match when Virat Kohli was playing, like, in between the match, did his father die? Like when he was like passed when he was
When the match was going on, he was sitting on the bench. Means he was not batting. So his mother called him and said that your father sadly has passed away. So come fast.
So
They live somewhere. I don't know where they live. Mostly they lived in Delhi itself. But he rejected it, and he wanted to make Delhi win the match.
So did he ever like go to his dad's grave and do something?
Yeah.
Guys, they
After
were
the
playing
match,
the Ranji trophy that time, right?
I don't remember.
Actually,
Was he?
I just know.
Okay. Sorry, but we can talk about it a little later. We are getting a little short on time.
Okay.
But essentially, the thing is, so first he didn't just get into it, right? He didn't. We saw he has almost 5 major things that he did, and this was across, I don't know, maybe 20 years, because he played for Delhi only when he was 19. So first he got an inspiration, then he began working, and then he got into state nationals, and then he continued being to what he is, right? So the example I gave for this was, the reason for this experiment was to understand that we don't just go from being a normal person, or not necessarily normal, but being from someone who isn't necessarily excelling in what they're doing, to being someone who is excelling in what they're doing overnight. We require a lot of effort and a lot of work to do it, right? So let's go back to the shloka. Let's look at it again. So they're saying to a beginner who has intense desire to realize God, right? So we can take the example of Kohli. So Kohli had this intense desire to play cricket because of Sachin Tendulkar, right? So when you have this, when you're just a beginner and you have this intense desire to understand something or to do something in Virat Kohli's case, we can't just directly go into it. We first have to build it up by each step, right? So like that, Krishna in this shloka is saying, first he got into some place, he got into a coaching or somewhere where he enjoyed playing, and then he got into a good team or got into professional. So like that, Krishna is saying, when you want to realize God, you can't just directly realize God. It's not something that happens overnight. You can't think of it, and you can't just wake up realizing God. First, you must start with something small, right? Because many times it might be difficult. So Krishna is saying, you might recall many classes earlier, we talked about many ways from which you can have self-realization, right? Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, kriya yoga, and jnana yoga. So essentially, karma yoga is what Krishna is talking about, selfless work. So first, you can get self-realization through simply starting through something simple. So that's through helping others or through doing something selfless for others, so serving others. So like that, you start off with something small, not something that's big and ambitious. So you begin with that, and then he's saying to the sage who is already advanced in this process. So once you have already realized and once you are already selfless and you help others, then you can start meditating, and then you can start realizing the truth of what it really means, right? So let's say you just randomly one day sit and you start meditating and you be like, and you think, I want to realize God, I want enlightenment, I want to really understand who I am. That's not how it's going to happen, right? It's a gradual process, and it's step and step and step, right? You're climbing steps. So like that, when a person wants to realize God, first they can help others and do a service, and then they can contemplate by themselves. So this is what Krishna is saying. So here we have this representation. So there is an angry person, right? They begin small, they start helping other people, and then they start doing it by themselves, they start contemplating by themselves, and finally you get the result of this beautiful fruit or this beautiful effort that you're putting in, which is being eternally happy and eternally peaceful and calm. So that's what Krishna is sharing in the shloka, and that's the essential meaning. Does anyone have any questions or doubts? Nothing? Is it clear? Awesome. Can we start sharing then? Okay. Nobody wants to share. So I'll start calling out names. Akshat, would you like to share?
Just a minute.
Okay.
Can I?
Okay, no problem. Snigdha, go ahead.
So what I understood in the shloka is that you have to, if you want to become someone really successful, then you have to. It's not that you have to first know what do you want to be successful in. It can be anything. It can be sports, or it can be some business, something, or some industry or something. But it has to be, you have to first get to know for what's your goal. Then only it can become a goal. After you get inspired and you get determined about it, then you have to start working hard for it. So, related to how Virat Kohli was working hard towards his goal, and now you see today, like such a successful cricket player he is. He plays very nicely. So, like that, you have to have determination and lots of interest towards your goal. Then you will be able to achieve it.
Okay.
So, and also, for example, now there is a common man. He wants to become a businessman. he gets inspired by his father or his uncle or somebody or his friend. He gets inspired by his friend, and because he is a very successful businessman, so even he wants to become like one. So he got that inspiration from his friend, and now he is determined to become the businessman. So for all that, he needs to work hard for it. So he can't just get it like that. He can't just go to the office and be like, I want to be a businessman, and that's done. He has to work hard for it. He can't just like that become a businessman. So like there'll be some sort of exam you have to take for being a businessman. My parents have also taken it, but they have not really passed in it. So but like they have to study a lot for that. It's a little bit difficult, it seems. That exam is a bit difficult. So yeah, that man who really wants to become the businessman has to work hard and study a lot, and then he will be able to achieve his goal as a businessman. So
But Sneha, you're missing the biggest message. What is which kind of business are we talking about here? What kind of success are we talking about here? Are we talking about just any success? Are we talking about okay, success in my business or success in my studies?
like because I talked about studying, because like in that business, for you to become like a businessman or a businesswoman, then like yeah, there'll be some sort of exam you have to take.
Okay,
So
but I think
that
you're missing the biggest message that Krishna is trying to give here. He's not saying just any business. He's saying about the business of the self. So he's talking about me, right? How can I be right? There's no fault in being successful as a business or an academic person, but the greatest success any person can have is being eternally happy and being eternally calm, right?
yes, this is also what I wanted to say. I saw a video related to this. So it was like the message of this that video was that you should not do something to make others happy. You have to do something to make yourself happy. Only if you are happy about it, you have to do it. You should not get pressured, or you should not do it because somebody else is telling you to do it. You have to only do it because if you want to do it. So
Right.
like
And
that.
how do you become happy?
You become happy because like you're having that interest of doing it. So you really want to do it, and you're not doing it because just because somebody's asking you to do it, or somebody's telling you have to be this or like that. It's from within that the interest is coming.
Right, but also a simple thing, Krishna is saying a very simple thing. First, start small. You can start helping others, you can start serving others, and not expect anything in return. That's a very simple step you can start with. And then you can have yes, that inspiration and determination is very useful, but starting small is really easy. That's what Krishna is trying to tell us. He's telling us how to do it, not why we should do it or what we need to do it. He's saying how to do it. So first just start with helping others, and then you can start contemplating, and then you can start meditating and thinking about what is really the meaning of who I am and what I'm my purpose here. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Snigdha.
I also want to add on one thing.
Okay.
So there is like, I also want to give another message is what you have to not give up on whatever your dreams are. So there is one football player. His name is Cristiano Ronaldo. So everyone must know him. He's very common. Most people know him, and he has actually lost one of the World Cups. So ever since that time, he has not been playing, and he has a son who's Ronaldo Jr. So even though he has lost, he has not given up hope. He still thinks that okay, my son can still become a successful football player like how I was. So he still continued teaching his son. He just did not give up on his dreams and get sad and just sit in some room. He had that, what do you say? That what like how should I say? He had that, he believed in
Determined
his son. He
belief. Yeah.
belief in his son that he would become a successful footballer one day. So that's why he he kept training his he is still training his son for becoming a successful football player. So like this example, you whatever your dream is, and for example you just lose it or something may happen, you have to not give up. Now let's say singing, I really love singing. Now for example I go to some competition and I lose, it doesn't mean I have to give up. I have to still be determined in that. I have to, if I'm really determined and really inspired in singing, then I would work harder for it to achieve it. This is
Right.
what you have to do. You should never give up. You should work harder.
Okay. Thank you so much, Snigdha. Thank you. Akshat, would you like to go ahead?
So what I understood is that if we have an ambition, we have to work for it, and first, and also we have to believe in ourselves. Then we can succeed. For example, you had told no Virat Kohli's story. He had the ambition. He worked for it, and I think he believed in himself. That is why he succeeded.
Okay. But how is that related to this shloka?
See, you were telling no that you mm, you selflessly work, and also then you will if you want to realize God, then you have to just I understood that we have to believe in ourselves, and then we just do, but we don't expect anything back like that. Like I that is what I meant by saying that we believe in ourselves, and that is why he pursued, or else if he was thinking that he should win, he should only win, and he could only think of that, and he could not play well, and that in that case he could not win, no.
Right. That's very true. But more than what we need in this shloka, it's really talking about how we can implement that, right? So as I was saying, Snigdha, the first step to do to any way to get into self-realization is through selfless or through service to others. And then after that, you can start contemplating by yourself or self-realize. So that's what we're saying by meditation. That's what we're referring to as meditation. Is that clear?
Sorry for misunderstanding.
No problem. You shouldn't apologize. There's no problem. Thank you so much, Akshat. Is that clear?
Yes, Aditya.
Thank you. Shreyas.
Yeah, I understood that. Like, I have one more example, like Virat Kohli. First, I'll explain like with practical examples. Then I'll talk about the shloka. Like Virat Kohli, there's a famous cricketer MS Dhoni. You all might know him.
Yeah.
So at first step, like if he wanted to become a cricketer, no, if he wanted to become successful in something, first he had to get to know in what he had to get successful. And MS Dhoni, before he would be a goalkeeper in football before, when he was young.
Yeah.
After that, when a cricket coach saw him, he saw and he said, "Wow, he catches balls so nicely." Because cricket, he became a wicket keeper then. First he thought, I'll play football. But then when the coach came, he said, will you be our wicket keeper? Means he'll catch. And once he started it, he was very good at it. Like he was the best over there. But when he got into this, he also wanted to bat, but his coach didn't let him to bat. Only after like if he practiced 4 hours, 3 hours wicket keeping, 1 hour batting. So like that, he learned both of them, and he practiced more on wicket keeping, and he's regarded as the best wicket keeper in the world.
Right.
Okay,
So
so that is why in every match, whenever I see, he is always wicket keeping.
yeah, he's the wicket keeper. Yeah, so here, like, if somebody wants to believe in God, like how Dhoni wanted to be successful, like
Sorry,
here
one
it's a
thing.
little different.
Do we want to believe in God?
No, like realize. I
More
mean,
than
not
believe,
believe.
it's understanding.
Yeah,
who is
understanding
God,
who is God, and
my relationship
yeah,
with God.
yes. So by mistakenly I said believe.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So then we should not realize God like simply if somebody says us, you have to realize God. And actually we want to realize, but they say realize for me, you don't realize for yourself. So we should not take that pressure, and we should do it selflessly. So we should realize God selflessly, and we should ask some help with somebody who's already an expert or very advanced. So like our here we can say our gurus are the best people who are advanced already, because they have also gone through everything we have gone through. So yeah, that's what I understood.
One correction, it's not really telling us to ask from our gurus. I mean, not that that's wrong, but it's first saying we should help serve. So if we don't know, if we have no idea what to do or how to realize who I am, so Krishna saying first simply help others and serve others. That's something that can come easily and naturally to us, right? And once we have mastered that, and once we are not attached to any of the fruit, that's when we can truly contemplate by ourselves. That's what it's saying that's what it's saying when it's saying to the sage who is already advanced. So the sage who's already advanced is someone who has already surpassed this level of being attached to the fruit, right?
Yes.
Is that clear?
Yes. Thank you for
Okay.
the correction.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Shreyas.
I would
Yeah.
like to add a few points based on what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So I think the message or the example that is being taken up is being used to show how to be successful. Yes, it is important. However, why is that Sri Krishna is talking about first step is selfless work, and the next step, it is better to then go into meditation? Why is he saying that? Let us understand that in a simple way. So our mind is full of thoughts. Each one of us have constantly thoughts, depending upon what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you are talking with your friends. You get so many inputs, and your mind is constantly thinking. Okay. So when your mind is constantly thinking, an average person gets about 60,000 thoughts a day. Okay. When you have so many thoughts going on, how do you recognize God? How do you recognize divine qualities? How do you recognize your own nature as that divine qualities, and you yourself are that only? So therefore, Sri Krishna is saying, in order to recognize that, first you have to reduce your own chatter in the mind. See, for example, if you're right now watching something else, in the television, also having a book in front of you, also trying to listen to this conversation, will you be able to do it? No. Why? Because your mind is occupied in so many things. So therefore, first of all, the mind has to be quiet. And how to make the mind quiet? First step, simple step, start helping others without expecting anything back in return. As you keep doing that, naturally, the chatter in the mind, the disturbance in the mind slows down, reduces. When the disturbance in the mind reduces, it is now ready for dhyana. Dhyana means what? To watch whatever that is happening in your mind without getting involved in it, and to go inwards to really see who is the one who is watching. So that is dhyana. So like that, when can you do dhyana? Only when you can quieten your mind. So these are the two steps, first two steps. And once when you recognize your own true nature, then it becomes easier. So what Sri Krishna is teaching us is the steps to quieten the mind. Only in the quiet and the silent mind can your true nature be completely realized. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's continue.
Thank you, Vijay. Tejas, would you like to share?
So what I understood is that if you focus on a certain part, it doesn't matter how much it takes. If you are able to focus and say, and your mind is like an arrow, which goes straight and tries to get that career, you can succeed. If you're thinking like, how do I put this? You're thinking like it's okay, fine, and maybe it's my passion. Maybe I can do it, but right now I'll do something else. You should have your mind on that thing, right on target. Otherwise, you will lose interest and finally you'll be like, okay, fine, I don't want this job. You won't get that high position, and you won't get the career that you wanted. So
So is this shloka talking about a career?
well, it can be career. It can be anything. Like it can be sports. It can be becoming a journalist. It could be anything like that.
Right. But what is the one thing that's always makes us happy? Like, not that a career or a sports doesn't make us happy, but that's just very temporary, right? So this shloka is talking about something that's much more permanent.
Like what you have to do, that you should not feel like you should not feel like this will benefit me. You should be like this will benefit everyone. You should be selfless. That I understand.
Right.
Like being a surgeon. It's not like it's not only that you will get a lot of money if you do a surgery. It'll help the other person's life. That's what I am. That's what.
Okay. So not that that's wrong, but more than that, the shloka is talking about how can become, like Vijayji was just saying right now, how one can become, one can go from being like having all these muddled thoughts. So like he said, we have almost 60,000 thoughts a day. So that's so much. So how do we go from that to being completely peaceful, completely calm and happy constantly? So that's what this shloka is saying. So, right, like you gave the example of a surgeon. So that's one way of selflessly working, right? So
Yes.
that's the first step. So helping someone else. And then after that, you can start meditating. And meditating is the one true way we can actually truly.
Yeah, it calms down your mind. It
Exactly.
slows down the thoughts.
Yeah. So all this chutney in our head, it goes and calms down and becomes settled, like mud settled in water, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's when we truly realize the union between me and God and what is the true essence.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Tejas. Thank you. Rohan?
Yeah, what I understood from the shloka is you need to be focused. You need to do one thing at a time, be it reading or let it be playing. And I also understood that first you need to cool down and you need to make you need to be in peace, and then you need to serve the society without expecting anything in return. Like how Tejas said, if you want to be a doctor, it's not that you get, oh my god, it's not that you get money and all. It'll also help others.
Exactly. So
You
that's
need
the
to
first
serve the
step
society
towards.
in an attitude like, oh, I'm a doctor, I am helping others, and that is my real job. Not my real target is not getting money. Like that, you need to be.
So true. So the first way is to work without having attachment to your fruit, right? And then after that you can meditate and you can understand. Is that,
Yeah.
is that clear? Thank you, Rohan. I think everyone shared.
No, I think you still have to call out Manya.
Manya, would you like to share?
Yeah, I understood that first, in order to be successful in anything, here we are focusing on realizing God and to realize that we are one with the divine and all these divine qualities of Krishna that we can bring out in us. So, in order to be successful in that or to achieve that, there are two important things. The very first one is to first of all be selfless and to perform selfless actions. So the example of Vijayji gave, like there's so many sounds around us, then you won't be able to focus and understand what you're doing. But if you turn them all down and off, and you focus, then you'll be able to do it. So that is very important. That's how selfless actions help, because all the thoughts, they stop coming to the mind and you're just focused on what you're doing and not on the fruits or the results. The second thing would then be to be peaceful and to try and advance in the same thing. This is what I understood.
Exactly. Very true. Thank you,
Thank
Manya.
you, Aditya.
That was really accurate. Thank you. So I think I've covered everyone. So we'll end the contemplation here. Thank you, everyone. Hari Om.